Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
There is tension anew in the Holy Land this Holy Week, just 2 weeks after Filipino UN peacekeepers were taken as captives by a rebel group in Syria. The peacekeepers were later released unharmed to Jordanian forces. Fighting has intensified in the same region anew. The new threat of escalation came Sunday after cross-border shelling from the Golan Heights, where a large contingent of Filipino peacekeepers are deployed, along with other UN forces keeping the peace. Today, Israel fired into Syrian territory, its first attack on Syria since the mid-1980s. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the Israeli attacks were in retaliation for sniper and rocket attacks from the Syrian side of the border versus northern Israel. The counter-shelling, although small-scale, coming on Palm Sunday, is a reminder of how fragile peace is in the region. Three faiths consider the Holy Land. As Christians Palm Sunday and Jews in Israel the Passover, there is holiday tension anew. More reports of chemical weapons used in fighting have circulated, although nothing is confirmed yet. Some testing has revealed that the attacks took place last week. But as to the extent of the use or whether these were damaged devices, it is still being assessed by UN monitors. Syrian forces lost an army base and an air force base to rebel fighters just on Saturday along the border regions with Lebanon, Jordan, and Israel. The conflict has been largely confined within Syria, but occasional rocket and artillery shells hitting southern Lebanon, eastern Jordan, and northern Israel, as well as the Palestinian West Bank's northern areas, are increasingly being reported. There are no reports of any Filipinos so far being hurt or affected in this weekend's attacks. Both the DFA and AFP are already recommending reducing or pulling back to support roles armed forces peacekeepers in the region. Syria's southern provinces bordering Jordan and Israel have become increasingly significant grounds as the capital of Damascus is in the fight to take control of Syria. President Bashar al-Assad's forces are fighting hard to prevent rebel advances, but increasingly the rebels are taking more and more territory. The Israeli military said and confirmed that one of its vehicles was hit late Saturday night in a shooting along the Israeli-Syrian ceasefire line of the Golan Heights. This was confirmed by UN observers. No one was hurt. Israel says it will fire back versus any attacks on its territory from any direction. Israel has said for months that it expects the Assad's government to fall and voiced concerns that chemical and biological weapons could fall into the hands of Lebanon's Hezbollah forces or Al-Qaeda, something Arab governments and the West have increasingly been calling on the Syrian government to destroy or surrender its stockpile of gas, chemical, or biological weapons to the United Nations. For Good Morning, Mike Cohen for PTV News.